Why your children choose you. Welcome to Moonmind Temple. Today, I'm sharing something that will completely change how you see children and parenting forever. What if I told you that you didn't really choose your children? They chose you. Most of us grow up with a simple story. We decide when to have kids. We plan our families. We're in control of this huge life decision. But there's a hidden truth that ancient wisdom traditions have understood for centuries. Children are souls with their own mission, and they actively select the parents who will help them fulfill their purpose. Let me ask you something. Have you ever met a child who seems to be the perfect teacher for their parents? Maybe a super energetic child born to parents who need to learn flexibility, or a highly sensitive child who helps emotionally closed-off parents open their hearts, or a stubborn child who teaches passive parents how to set boundaries. This is not random, it's by design. When you start seeing the parent-child relationship this way, everything transforms. Instead of thinking, I need to mold this child into the person I want them to be, you start asking, who is this soul, and what are they here to teach me? The biggest mistake most parents make comes from one fundamental misunderstanding: thinking children belong to them. We literally say, my child, the same way we say, my house or my car. But children aren't possessions. They're independent beings with their own journey who are temporarily in our care. In Zen Buddhism, this understanding leads to what's called non-attachment parenting, loving completely while holding loosely. I want to share something revolutionary about why specific children enter our lives. There are three main soul purposes that explain why certain children choose certain parents. First, some children come as healers. These souls often select parents who've experienced trauma, loss, or hardship. Their natural joy, forgiveness, and loving nature help parents recover parts of themselves that had become wounded. I've known parents with difficult childhoods whose children's unconditional love finally showed them what healthy attachment feels like. The child isn't just receiving care, they're actively healing generational wounds. Second, some children arrive as challengers. These souls deliberately choose parents who need specific growth lessons. The extremely active child who forces structured parents to become more flexible. The questioning child who pushes parents beyond black and white thinking. The independent child who teaches over-controlling parents to let go. These children aren't being difficult. They're perfectly fulfilling their sole purpose of catalyzing their parents' evolution. Third, many children serve as mirrors, reflecting back our unresolved issues with incredible precision. This is the most common and most powerful soul agreement. Have you noticed how your child seems to trigger your exact emotional hot buttons? The child who tests boundaries might be revealing where you need stronger boundaries in your own life. The anxious child might be highlighting your own unacknowledged fears. The child who seeks constant approval might be showing your own need for external validation. This mirroring isn't punishment, it's a gift. In Zen practice, this is like how a master presents the exact challenges a student needs for growth. Your child's triggering behaviors are often showing you precisely where healing is needed in your own life. The question isn't, how do I fix my child? But, what am I being invited to heal within myself? One of the most painful struggles in parenting comes from expectations. We build elaborate visions of who our children will become, their achievements, interests, personality, life choices. When they inevitably deviate from this mental image, we feel disappointed or worried. But the problem isn't the child, it's our attachment to an imaginary future that exists only in our minds. In Buddhist teaching, this attachment to specific outcomes is recognized as a major source of suffering. The practice of beginner's mind offers a powerful alternative, meeting each moment freshly, without preconceptions. When we can see our children as they truly are right now, rather than through the filter of our expectations, we create space for their authentic development and save ourselves unnecessary heartache. This doesn't mean abandoning guidance. Children absolutely need boundaries and direction to feel secure. But there's a world of difference between offering guidance while honoring their essential nature versus trying to force them into becoming someone they're not. One approach nurtures growth, the other creates rebellion or compliance at the cost of authenticity. Let's talk about what children actually need from parents. Here's the liberating truth. They don't need perfect parents. They don't need parents who never make mistakes or who always know the right thing to do. What they need is authentic parents, adults who are real, who acknowledge when they mess up, and who are actively working on themselves. Children learn primarily through observation, not instruction. A parent who lectures about honesty but lies when convenient is teaching dishonesty. A parent who talks about respect but speaks harshly to others is teaching disrespect. Your actions, energy, and way of being in the world shape your child's understanding of life far more powerfully than your words ever could. This brings us to discipline, probably the most misunderstood aspect of parenting. Many people think discipline means punishment or forcing obedience. But the word discipline actually shares its root with disciple and teach. True discipline isn't about controlling behavior through fear. It's about teaching understanding and natural consequences. When a parent punishes a child from a place of anger or power, the child learns about domination and resentment. When a parent sets clear, consistent boundaries with compassion, the child learns about respect and responsibility. The difference in approach creates entirely different outcomes, not just in childhood, but throughout life. Here's something rarely discussed in parenting circles: how our own childhood wounds automatically affect how we parent. If your parents were critical, you might find yourself criticizing your children without thinking. If your emotions were dismissed growing up, you might struggle to validate your child's feelings. If you weren't protected, you might become overprotective or, surprisingly, underprotective. These patterns aren't your fault, but becoming aware of them is your responsibility. In Zen practice, this awareness is called waking up, recognizing the unconscious patterns that drive our behavior. Breaking these cycles requires courage, the willingness to face your own pain so you don't automatically pass it to the next generation. This healing journey might be the most important aspect of parenting. As you address your own wounds, you not only become a better parent, but also show your children what healthy self-awareness looks like. This creates a new legacy that can transform family patterns for generations. One of the most revolutionary perspectives on parenting is understanding that the relationship isn't one way. We think of parents as teachers and children as students. But in reality, children are powerful teachers who arrive with wisdom that many adults have forgotten. Watch a young child completely absorbed in playing with sand or water. They're fully present in a way adults rarely manage. In Zen Buddhism, this state is called being in the moment, complete attention without division between observer and observed. Children naturally exist in this state before they're taught to divide their attention and worry about past and future. Children also show us what unconditional love looks like. Adult relationships become complicated by expectations, past hurts, and unspoken conditions. But a young child loves spontaneously, without calculation or agenda. Experiencing this kind of love can heal wounds we didn't even know we carried and reawaken our capacity to love more freely. Perhaps the most difficult lesson children teach is surrender. From the moment of birth, which rarely goes according to plan, children force parents to let go of control. The carefully organized home becomes chaotic. The schedule gets disrupted. The 5-year plan gets completely derailed by the reality of a specific child with their own needs and temperament. This surrender isn't failure, it's wisdom. It's recognizing that life cannot and should not be controlled, that true joy comes from embracing what is rather than fighting for what we think should be. Parents who resist this lesson suffer tremendously. Those who embrace it discover a freedom and peace they never knew was possible. Another profound lesson parenthood teaches is impermanence. Children grow and change with astonishing speed. The baby stage that seems eternal when you're sleep-deprived passes in a blink. The toddler who needed you constantly becomes the school-age child with their own friends and interests. The child who told you everything becomes the teenager establishing privacy and independence. Each stage must be fully experienced and then released. In Buddhism, recognizing impermanence is essential to reducing suffering. When we understand that nothing stays the same, we can fully appreciate each phase without desperately clinging to it. Parents who fight this natural progression, who try to keep their teenager dependent or control their adult child's choices, create pain for everyone involved. Those who can support appropriate independence at each stage build relationships that evolve rather than break. They understand that letting go isn't losing the relationship. It's allowing it to transform into what it's meant to become. The most valuable legacy parents leave isn't money or achievements. It's the quality of presence they brought to their child's life. A child who was truly seen, heard, and valued grows into an adult capable of seeing, hearing, and valuing others. This ripples outward, affecting not just their relationships, but their entire approach to life and community. Imagine a world filled with people who knew their inherent worth, who could manage their emotions, who understood that mistakes are for learning, and who approached others with compassion rather than judgment. This is what conscious parenting makes possible, not just happier families, but a more peaceful world. I want to emphasize, none of this requires perfection. The parent who loses patience, then returns to apologize, is teaching something incredibly valuable about repair and honesty. The parent who admits not knowing all the answers is teaching humility. The parent who struggles but keeps showing up with love is teaching perseverance and commitment. In Japanese Zen, there's a beautiful concept called kintsugi, the art of repairing broken pottery with gold, making the cracks part of the beauty rather than something to hide. Parenting is kintsugi in action. Our mistakes and repairs become part of the beauty of our relationship with our children, not flaws to be hidden. The journey of parenthood isn't about achieving some perfect state of constant patience and wisdom. It's about bringing awareness to each moment, each interaction, each challenge, approaching the parent-child relationship as an opportunity for mutual growth and deeper connection. Children don't choose parents who will never make mistakes. They choose the parents whose particular strengths and challenges create exactly the environment their soul needs for growth. And perhaps on some level, we choose them too, recognizing that this particular being will help us evolve in precisely the ways we need. If this video has resonated with you, I invite you to try something. In your next challenging parenting moment, pause and ask, what might both of us be learning right now? This simple question can transform frustration into opportunity. The children in your life have chosen you for a reason. The relationship isn't random. It's a sacred agreement between souls for mutual evolution. When we recognize this deeper purpose, even the hardest days of parenting take on new meaning. Thank you for joining me at Moon Mind Temple today. If these ideas have touched something in you, please share your experiences in the comments. What has parenthood taught you? How have the children in your life changed who you are? Let's continue this conversation below. And if you found value in this video, please hit subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Until next time, remember, the greatest spiritual teacher in your life might be the very one asking for another bedtime story or challenging your patience. The sacred disguises itself as the ordinary, and nowhere is this more true than in parenthood.